Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game, Season 2, Episode 27. This is Takeover Toronto. It is me, as always, here, Mike, with my almost 6-year-old son, Cohen. Cohen, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, I know, but that was Enzo. That's a crazy match.
That is a crazy match. And let's get straight into the action tonight for the pay-per-view. Here we go. Renee Young looking around. Welcome. Tonight we are in Canada. In Toronto, we are here for NXT Takeover Toronto. The card has been ran down a million times. Betting sites have the odds. Corey, the atmosphere for what we could be seeing tonight. Sami Zayn's big coming home victory party. It feels special. Corey Graves, he's been waiting 8 months from 8 months to fight back to Bo Dallas, who cashed in on him. 8 months, almost a year. Tonight could be the end of the reign of Dallas. Renee Young listens to the chants and cheers for Sami Zayn. Then all the cheers for Bayley. And then all the cheers for the Lucha Dragons. Hot crowd tonight, Renee. Hot crowd. The camera turns and focuses on the middle of the ring. That's darkened. It turns back up with all 20 men in the ring who will be fighting for the NXT #1 contendership to the television title Battle Royale. Here we go. NXT TakeOver Toronto starts now. All right, here we go. And a match that featured some great action, but not in much way of heat. Tyler Breeze won a Battle Royal in 15 minutes to become the NXT #1 contender to the television championship. The final four were Drew McIntyre, Apollo Crews, and Doc Gallows. And Drew McIntyre being the final elimination, Tyler Breeze's partner. Doc Gallows got the most eliminated over the match. Breezy needs his character change, but Tyler Breeze, Cohen, is the new #1 contender to the NXT Television Championship. Were you expecting that tonight? He's not on there, but he can only show a couple pictures. Were you expecting that tonight or no?
So I heard on the Thursday that I didn't before that though.
All right, well he didn't know, but he was surprised. Tyler Breeze is the #1 contender. All right, a video has played hyping Sasha Banks and Emma's feud and how we got to the NXT Women's Championship match, Cohen. Starting back with Emma won the 2016 Queen of the Ring at NXT Ladies Night. Here comes the NXT Women's Championship match. In a match that has some good action and average heat, the boss Sasha Banks defeats Emma in 13 minutes with a wheelbarrow bulldog. Sasha Banks defends her NXT Women's Championship for the 4th time. After the match, though, Sasha Banks has just retained her championship win by beating the 2016 Queen of the Ring Emma. Charlotte comes out of nowhere from the NWO Gold and levels her. Charlotte kicks Emma out of the ring and turns back to Sasha as she continues to beat her down. Sasha picks up Sasha and hits the natural selection, laying her out, grabbing Sasha's NXT Women's Championship from the referee's hand and raising it over her head as she stands above Sasha Banks. Charlotte's making it known, Cohen, that she wants Sasha Banks and she wants that NXT Women's Championship. A video now plays hyping the Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin's feud, starting when Kevin Owens led the NWO Gold to jumping Baron Corbin in the back. It then shows us Owens being shockingly pushed to his limits against Corbin, then taking him out for good. It then shows Corbin getting a rematch with Owens thanks to Regal. And about that featured great action and average heat, Kevin Owens defeats Baron Corbin in 11 minutes with the package piledriver, Cohen. So Baron Corbin and Kevin Owens' program might be over here with Kevin Owens getting the final victory, what appears to be, here at NXT TakeOver Toronto, which is also his home country as well. All right, now we see the doctors checking on Sasha Banks in the back, making sure she's okay. But out of nowhere, we see Charlotte come out again, out of nowhere, run in and attack Sasha Banks, causing Sasha to be hurt even more. Charlotte ran in to the doctor's office and beat her up. Cohen, what do you think about Charlotte's actions tonight?
I do not think I know it's something crazy.
Something crazy, guys. All right. And about that featured great action and average heat, Bayley defeats Natalya in 10 minutes with the Hugplex. Just a victory here for Bayley tonight at NXT TakeOver Toronto and Natty's home country as well. And it was just a good friendly match with two good girls, two good guys facing each other, Cohen. All right. The fans cheer as William Regal now has made his way to the middle of the ring. William Regal. Let's waste nobody's time. How are you all enjoying NXT TakeOver Toronto tonight? The fans cheer. Now, I told you I had a friend to invite, and without further ado, the fans look up at the ring. Strong style. Shinsuke Nakamura has debuted in NXT. Shinsuke Nakamura shows up on the ramp, and the fans go crazy and chanting and cheering. He makes his way down to the ring and stands next to William Regal, who hands him a microphone. NXT, NXT, NXT. He leads everyone in a chant and waits for it to die down. Shinsuke Nakamura. While I'm not signed officially to an NXT contract yet, I hope to be in the future. I can wrestle for all you fans. William Regal says, I know, Sensei. I know I can speak for the NXT Universe. We'd love to see that. The lights then go out dark. What's going on? Everyone seemed confused until we hear boom, boom. Boom, boom. Demon Balor has returned. Demon Balor begins to do his elaborate entrance and makes his way to the ring slowly as the fans are marking out for Demon Balor here. As Balor hits the ring, William Regal steps between him and Nakamura. Balor pushes Regal to the side and sizes up Nakamura. Balor rolls his eyes around in his head, looking crazy, and then grabs the head of Nakamura and drops him, giving him a code breaker that sends Nakamura high into the air and lands him on his back. Nakamura, though, no-sells, and he gets straight up and tackles Balor. Everyone in the promotion who's available runs out and tries to break it up. Nakamura's not even signed to a contract, says Corey Graves. Demon Balor looks insane, and Nakamura is screaming at Balor in Japanese. William Regal looks at him like he's lost his shit as he's apologizing to his friend Nakamura. The camera focuses on Finn, who's bleeding from his lips apparently after a punch from Nakamura. Balor sulks out of the ring and crawls backwards up the ramp as we fade. But Shinsuke Nakamura, who was just invited to NXT tonight by William Regal, was attacked by Finn Balor, the leader of the Balor Club, in his demon attire, Cohen. Were you expecting that to happen?
Well, I knew that was going to happen.
How did you know that was going to happen? I didn't tell you that.
Well, I just knew.
You just knew. All right. All right. A video now played hyping the American Alpha, Hideo, Itami, and Neville, the Kingdom, and Young Bucks facing off for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We see the Young Bucks losing to American Alpha, who Blake and Murphy became the contenders, and shocking the world, the Bucks hadn't lost yet. We then see the rematch 2 weeks later, and then winning again with Hideo, Itami, and Neville helping the Balor Club after the Balor Club tried a post-match beatdown. We see an announced triple threat to become the number one contenders with Hideo, Itami, and Neville winning. The Bucks argue and get their backs into the match based off of a contractual agreement. And then the Kingdom beats American Alpha in a non-title match. Cohen now has a claim. Regal, to satisfy all, but not American Alpha, makes it a fatal four-way for the NXT Tag Team Championships, and that's what we're about to see right now. American Alpha, the Kingdom, the Bucks, and Itami and Neville going one-on-one for the NXT Tag Team Championships. What's going to happen here? And about that featured great action in average heat, American Alpha defeats Hideo, Itami, and Neville, the Kingdom, and Young Bucks in 10 minutes when Chad Gable defeats Taman by the Alpha. During the match, we saw Maria try to distract Chad Gable and then accidentally hit her the person she's managing, Matt Taven. American Alpha makes their second defense over the titles. American Alpha with a huge victory tonight, Cohen. Chad Gable and Jason Jordan doing big things here in NXT. What do you think about this match?
I was expecting the Young Bucks.
He was expecting the Young Bucks.
Or Agent of Rodeo doing one of those two teams.
But they didn't win. It was American Alpha, who we do like. Surprising victory here. All right. Now, a video is hyping the Enzo Amore and Big Cass feud. It shows us the team climbing up the tag team ranks, even holding and winning the NXT Tag Team Championships until the Young Bucks debuted and beat them. It then shows us the NWO Gold arriving. It shows us Big Cass hitting William Regal from behind on an NXT episode. He then takes out Albert weeks later and has a mini feud, and finally ends with Enzo Amore and him teaming up when Big Cass turns on him in the middle of the ring. It shows us the duo having a match, and then Carmelo turning on Enzo as well and joining the NWO Gold. It shows William Regal giving Enzo another match and locking them inside of a cage so nothing can happen. Here we go. The Saw storyline has advanced. Cohen, Enzo Amore, and Big Cass, former best friends, former tag team champions, going one-on-one, locked inside a steel cage.
Is it the third show I mentioned that match?
Here we go. And about that featured great action in average heat, Enzo Amore defeated Big Cass in a cage match in 10 minutes when Enzo Amore escaped the cage. During the match, we had Carmella try to distract Enzo Amore, Cohen, but it didn't work. Enzo Amore defeats Big Cass by escape of the cage and gets his retribution, his payback on Big Cass. What do you think about that match? You love Enzo and Cass, and you were very upset when they broke up.
Enzo was not very happy when that happened.
He was not. All right. A video now played hyping the NXT Television Championship. Cohen, Mr. NXT, defeating the NXT Championship against both Lucha Dragons, Kalisto and Sin Cara. It shows us how the feud started when Sin Cara returned and Mr. NXT immediately targeted him. It then shows us them splitting and spinning, but Mr. NXT winning. Then later they fought again months later, and him trying to remove his mask, trying to remove Sin Cara's mask. Then Kalisto returned to save him, Cohen. You remember that. It then shows us how they got into this triple threat match 6 months after the original feud with Sin Cara started, and now we're here. NXT Television Championship ladder match. Will it be one of the Lucha Dragons? Will it be Mr. Money in the Bank, Mr. NXT World Television Champion, Mr. NXT? Will it be Kalisto of the Lucha Dragons? Will it be Sin Cara? We don't know, Cohen. Let's see what happens. Who's going to climb that ladder? And about that featured great action and average heat, Mr. NXT defeated Kalisto and Sin Cara in the ladder match when Mr. NXT grabbed the NXT Television Championship off the hook. Mr. NXT makes defense number 5. He actually sat on the top of the ladder after the match and was yelling, "You can't stop me! I'm Mr. NXT!" Alright, we then see the challenger to the NXT Heavyweight Championship, Sami Zayn, in the back getting ready to go, and the main event is next. We then see Bo Dallas taking a deep breath, leaving the locker room, wrenching his neck, heading to the ring because the main event is next. Bo Dallas, Sami Zayn. Can Sami win the title in his home country? A video is played hyping the NXT Television Champion Bo Dallas and challenger Sami Zayn. It starts showing us Sami Zayn winning the title from James Storm, who held the championship for months, Cohen. It shows him celebrating his accomplishment, and then shows Mr. Money in the Bank briefcase holder Bo Dallas stop, running down, cashing in, and beating Sami Zayn for the championship. It then shows Sami Zayn beating up in the next show and getting sidetracked on his journey back to the championship in his home country of Canada. The fans will be behind Sami Zayn tonight, Cohen. Can he finally get his belt back? Let's see! And about that featured great action, Sami Zayn defeats Bo Dallas by submission. Sami Zayn is your new NXT Heavyweight Champion of the World. An exhausted Sami Zayn has handed the NXT Championship Cohen in his home country, absolutely exhausted, with a maple leaf streamers flying. Renee Young, he's done it. He's finally gotten back. Sami Zayn has done it. This is not only the running a match for the year, but goddamn Sami Zayn. Streamers fly as Zayn is laying on his back, absolutely exhausted, and holding his arm that Bo Dallas worked on the entire match. The referee hands him his championship, and he tries to raise his arm, but he's unable to until he switches it. Bo Dallas has slid out of the ring and is walking up the ramp, and the fans are letting him have it and cheering for Sami Zayn. Mr. NXT, Cohen. Mr. NXT sprints down the ramp as Sami is still on his knees, cheering with the fans in the ring, holding his championship. Mr. NXT jogs past Bo Dallas, who the camera focuses on. Bo looks at Mr. NXT as he runs by him. The referees have just slid out of the ring, but Mr. NXT grabs the referee, slides him back to the ring, and hands him the briefcase. He hands him the briefcase, Cohen. Sami finally turns around, realizing what's happening now, and the referee looks at him. Mr. NXT is cashing in. NXT Money in the Bank. Sami stands up with the championships in his arm, and the referee is telling him what's going on, and Sami looks at him wide-eyed, and the referee hands him the bell and rings it. In an extremely short match, Mr. NXT has defeated Sami Zayn by pinfall in 1 minute. Mr. NXT defeats Sami Zayn, who just won the NXT Championship, Cohen. Mr. NXT has won the NXT Heavyweight Championship. Oh my God. Unbelievable, Cohen. The bell sounds loudly as Mr. NXT has just pinned Sami Zayn. After breaking his arm, the camera quickly shows a replay of Mr. NXT immediately running up to Sami as soon as the bell sounded, jumping up and grabbing him with a flying armbar on the same arm that Bo Dallas worked the entire match, and wrenches it back so very hard. It shows Sami Zayn in the middle of the ring, after having just won his NXT Championship back, finally, not willing to tap out, never giving up, and Mr. NXT leaning up and jumping down as everyone sees Sami's arm breaking. It then shows Sami Zayn on the replay lying flat on his back in unmeasurable pain, Cohen, just letting Mr. NXT cover him, unable to move. 1, 2, 3. We see then Mr. NXT standing up and the referee pointing him, handing the NXT Championship over his head, and then giving him his NXT Television Championship, and him handing both of them in the middle of the ring. Corey Graves. Renee, Mr. NXT just cashed in under a minute. He came to the ring with the Money in the Bank and the TV title, and is leaving with the NXT Heavyweight Championship. Mr. NXT can be seen laughing through his mask. Mr. NXT, Renee Young, Mr. NXT, she says, very upset. Mr. NXT is your NXT Heavyweight Champion. Mr. NXT is your NXT Television Champion. Mr. NXT is NXT. The scene fades with Mr. NXT standing in the middle of the ring with all the gold, and Sami Zayn being shown in the background being helped with his arm hanging off its socket. Mr. NXT, folks, has just cashed in Money in the Bank and defeated Sami Zayn. This is the second time Sami Zayn has won the NXT Championship, only to be cashed in and lose the match in barely over a minute. Mr. NXT. It is the era of Mr. NXT. So, a great show tonight here in NXT Toronto. We lost popularity in one region, not sure why. Let's make a speech. Mr. NXT was the MVP tonight. Cohen, what do you think about that? What do you think about what happened, Mr. NXT breaking his arm?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if Sami Zayn is ever going to match.
I will tell you this, Cohen. Sami Zayn will be back one day. He's going to have to rehab his arm. But poor Sami Zayn just won the title and then lost it again. Ladies and gentlemen, this was NXT Season 2, Episode 27, NXT Takeover Toronto. Thank you for watching. And I can't wait to show you what me and Cohen have next planned for you guys.